everybody. Welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. I'm Matt Connarton, and to my right, of course, is the Honorable Gary S. Hopper.
Matt, I love you, man. You're the greatest.
Thank you. I love you, too, in a very manly, heterosexual way.
Of course. I mean that way.
Right, like a football watching,
Yes, exactly. Like guys, patting each other in the back kind of way, not the other way that a lot of people do now.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to get misconception.
No. I'm glad we cleared that up. I'm glad we had this talk.
It's
a good time, during the holidays.
So did you know that you have to hold this differently if you're left-handed?
Believe it or not, no, I had no idea.
Yeah. The hand grenade, if you throw it right-handed, let's see, right-handed, your thumb's on the what do you call it, thimble or whatever it's called. You pull it and then throw it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're left-handed, you hold it upside down so that your thumb's on it. Pull it and throw it.
Ah, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, well, if you haven't thrown it, because I've thrown a lot of hand grenades.
Sure.
This week.
Oh, this week alone?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I had. If somebody checks my Facebook, they'll see it. There's I think they're assault turkeys. Mm-hmm. And deer. They're like over running my house and my yard. They're destroying my crops. So you gotta. What's so funny?
Nothing. I'm concerned about your crops.
Thanks, buddy.
I worry about your crops.
Oh! Our guest tonight.
Oh yes.
We have guest tonight. This is. You may recognize him, the gentleman with the white beard. Have you heard of him?
That's
Come on.
Sam Klaus or something?
Sam Klaus, yes.
Sam Klaus?
Sam Klaus.
The Honorable Sam Klaus is here.
The Honorable Santa Claus.
Merry
Santa
Christmas.
Claus.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always forget to pronounce his name wrong.
It's probably so long since he's given you a present.
Boy, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
You sure?
Megan Kelly was right.
Megan Kelly.
Santa's white.
What?
Yes.
See, he's
Yes,
Santa. Oh yeah. Oh right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
that was a big to do this week. That you are white, correct?
Yes, I am.
Huh.
And it's Merry Christmas. There's no holiday over here.
No holiday. You don't get a holiday anyway, really.
No, I don't.
No.
Yeah.
You work in Christmas.
Yes.
Well, you're self-employed, right? So
Yes.
it's not like you get vacation days to go around delivering presents. I mean, that's your gig.
Yes. Yeah. That's
Right.
What I
So
do.
you're working all day. Do you get? What do you do afterwards?
Well, I'm gonna have to get a part-time job because of Obamacare. My elf.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pay the fine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to
Yeah.
pay the fine
Yeah,
instead?
because I want my elves to have good insurance.
Right.
So I'm gonna keep them off that Obamacare.
That is very kind.
Yes.
Santa's all right.
So he's not unionized.
No.
No.
The unions. No.
The elves are, though, aren't they?
I thought
I thought you'd be exempt then from the health insurance.
Well,
that the
that's
elves are.
no, they won't give me an exemption.
Wow.
So but you didn't answer the question. This is a serious program. Are the elves or are not the elves in a union?
They are non-union.
They're non-union
Yes.
elves. Did you ever have union elves?
No. There was one troublemaker once that tried to unionize. All the others beat him up and said, "We don't need unions. We get treated very well."
Right. So it's
They get a lunch break, right?
Yes.
They get,
You
they
get-
get a lunch break. Yeah.
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
good.
They get a lunch break and they even got a 401k.
they do.
Oh,
Yeah.
pretty fancy.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
We have Bob McKenney, the pastor of Goffstown Congregational Church, again this year.
Hopefully, I still will be after the show.
No, not likely.
No, we only ruin political careers.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah.
We have destroyed the political career of many a politician, but
Yes.
so far we have not destroyed the career of any pastors. No, maybe we have.
I actually
let's
might
not
have
go
now that
there.
I'm thinking about it, but we won't bring it
We
up.
won't bring that up. So, Chris, you guys did. I don't say why did I say you guys? Because I belong to the church. We guys I didn't really participate in it, but they had the nativity scene out front of the Goffstown Congregational Church. That was the weekend before last or last weekend?
It was 2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks
It
ago.
was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And
Friday.
it was really not really pleasant weather.
Freezing rain.
Freezing
Yeah.
rain. The baby Jesus was not too happy with this.
He started crying.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was still delightful.
It was awesome.
It was-
It was amazing to see so many people come out in Goffstown. Despite the rain, they came out for the
Tree lighting and then
across the street
across the street.
live nativity, and it was awesome.
Now, do you think they stuck around mainly for the hot chocolate afterwards, or was that just an
Hard to know.
incentive?
A lot of
It's
people
hard
did
to
hang
know.
around, as you saw. Yeah,
Right,
a lot of
right.
People, cookies were awesome, but it was a good show. I mean, they explained the whole Christmas story. A lot of folks came and heard it and wanted to talk about it afterwards and sang Christmas carols. It was a really nice night, despite the rain. It was awesome.
It was really cool.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I'm just saying, I'm happy that it was a great night,
So,
even though the rain. I tried to get better weather.
yeah, I know, because
I didn't think you had anything to do with that.
Well, I don't. That's why you see sometimes I'm in a storm.
I know.
I'm always praying for good weather.
You're always
Yes,
praying
yes.
for good weather, but
Yes.
sometimes it just doesn't turn out that way.
No.
How do you like? What's better for you if it's snowing or raining?
Snow.
Snow. It's a lot
Yes.
better because it slides better
Yes.
on the roofs and everything.
Yep.
What happens when you go say down south where it's not it's raining, or does it get worse for
Well, with today's technology, we can throw little wheels, like rollerblades.
on the runners?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
fancy.
Yeah.
That is fancy.
Yeah, that's only been in the last 10, 20 years now. I can't remember when we did it, but prior to that, the sand was pretty hard on me.
Now, what do you do with the reindeer when they get older? Do you have a retirement program for them?
Yes. Yep. Sometimes they'll even spend the summers and the winters down in Disney.
They do.
Yes.
Oh, so they're unionized.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
Oh,
you're
all right.
you're just that nice.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people around the world donate to me, so I can treat my people good and my elves and all my
Now,
staff.
the latest movie said that you had Yetis.
Yetis?
Yetis?
Yetis.
Yes.
Yetis?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. There was a movie that Hollywood did or whatever, I think DreamWorks did, and Santa had Yetis.
Well, isn't Hollywood full of loons?
Oh, that's true.
I think he's dodging.
He
I think he can't confirm. Notice he didn't say no.
He didn't say no.
He's just like, I think he probably just can't confirm the
Yeah.
existence of Yetis.
I'm starting to wonder if Santa Claus is an elected position, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
So what's coming up in the church? What's
So Christmas.
Christmas, yeah.
Christmas
That's a
Eve.
big event for Christians, I heard.
It's pretty big.
Yes.
Pretty big, right behind Easter.
Right
It's on
behind
the
Easter.
25th this year, isn't it?
I don't have my calendar, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And Christmas Eve will be the 24th.
Oh, good. Well, that's convenient.
It seemed
7
like it was
o'clock.
that way last year too.
I don't remember. It's all blurred.
7 o'clock Christmas Eve, Goffstown Congregational Church. If
You
I
know-
can say that. I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah,
or
you
not.
can.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
of course
think
you
I
can.
just did.
There's no taking it back now.
Pretty much.
How many seconds is that delay?
right. Not enough.
It's probably
not
pretty
enough. You
long.
probably
Was
get
it?
it
Why
in.
was there some profanity in there? I missed?
No.
That'd be pretty
Well,
weird if there was.
well,
Not for me. anyway.
well, it depends on who's listening.
Right.
But no, Christmas is coming up, and that's a big day. A lot of people that don't get out to church, that don't really get to think much about Jesus and his birth, come out and they hear the Christmas story. We read from the scriptures. About
Yeah,
Jesus'
actually,
birth.
we have a cool thing at the church. We have the regular room, which I don't know how many people can we seat. I don't
Sanctuary.
have, yeah,
300.
300. And then we have a curtain we pull back, and in some years we've actually had people sit over there
Oh, really?
for
Yeah.
Christmas or Easter because there's so many extra people show up
Yeah.
because they have to get there, once or twice a year and
Well,
faith worship.
I went to a Catholic school from grade 2 to grade 8, and I remember one of the nuns who taught us lamenting about that. She would refer to them as the Christmas and Easter people.
The Christmas and Easter people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
but
show
the
up
thing
twice a
is,
year.
at least they're there for Christmas and Easter.
Right, better than nothing.
That
yeah.
is
And you know
absolutely.
what happens a lot of times? Some people will go for Christmas or Easter because that's sort of what you do, or maybe what they did in their family, but then they come and they think a little bit more about Jesus.
Yeah.
And they don't realize that he was a real person and he lived in space and time and really lived, died, and rose. And people somehow think that's a story, like a fairy tale or something. Like Tooth Fairy, maybe.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah, no.
Not,
Present company excluded.
Yeah.
Yes. Good. I like
Well,
how
no,
you.
he's not the Tooth Fairy. He's.
No, I know, but there was.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got
Well, I
confused.
wonder if we could bring some of the teachings back to school.
Like what?
The Bible. Prayer.
Public school.
Yes, we used to have it in public school, and I had a lot more good boys back then, good boys and girls.
Well, yeah, but look
Now
at
that they removed it from school, I got a lot of naughty boys and girls.
yeah, but think of how much less presents you have to produce throughout the year. I mean,
Glass half full. That's good.
right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
That is true, but I just soon have the full glass.
You'd like the extra workload.
Yes.
You'd rather have the extra workload, put the Bible back in school so that people can learn right from wrong instead of having this ambiguous
Yes.
teaching that is
Yep.
difficult to even understand, much less follow.
Well, there is a unemployment group of elves.
Oh, there is?
Yes, that I just can't hire because there's not enough work.
Oh, because there's so many.
Yeah. There's so many naughty boys and girls.
I didn't think we still said elves. I thought it was politically incorrect. Don't we call them Elfin Americans now or something?
No, well, they're not even necessarily American, are they? I mean,
No,
the North Pole
no,
is not
yeah.
is non.
I just assumed it was part of America.
I was going to say
we own
non-denominational, but that doesn't make any sense.
No.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Is that like a sovereign nation, the North Pole?
I think so. Is it?
Yes, it is.
Is a sovereign nation?
Yes, the Russians think there's oil under there, and I'm a little concerned about that, but America's up there looking around, too. And
Do you
I'm
have
like,
like a defense mechanism if the Russians decided to go in under the North Pole and displace you for their?
oh, yes. I got the ultimate.
You gonna elaborate or?
He wouldn't even confirm the Yeti thing. He's not going to tell us.
Yeah. No, it's top secret. It's, but,
Where is the North Pole? Is that in the Middle East or?
yeah.
Hence the oil. Yeah.
No, it's north of that.
Well, don't you,
You got to go up 93.
in New
You got
Hampshire,
93, keep going.
who's that congresswoman that don't know where Benghazi is? Maybe she don't even know where North Pole is.
She might not.
Yeah.
So it's north of Benghazi.
It's definitely north of Benghazi.
Yes, way north of Benghazi.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So maybe she's a little concerned about where the North Pole is.
She could be.
I think she thinks it's up by Dixville Notch, up in the North Country here in New Hampshire. But
Yeah, no, it's way
That would
above.
be pretty cool. That would be good for tourism.
yeah,
Well, there-
New Hampshire.
Yeah.
yes,
Well,
it
there
would.
is a Bethlehem, New Hampshire.
Yes,
Oh,
I've
that's
been
true.
there many times.
That's true.
Yeah, that's actually, I guess, they they actually have. I think they do a lot of business this time of year because a lot of people want their Christmas cards
Oh yeah, the
have the stamp
Yeah.
with Bethlehem.
Canceled in Bethlehem.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That makes
That's
sense.
a cool idea.
Yeah. Huh.
No, I didn't come up with it. It is a cool idea. I wish I had come up with it.
I know, right? You'd be rich.
I doubt it.
Now I do have some presents for you guys.
You do?
Yes.
I knew we invited you for something.
Yeah, I know, right?
Or did you invite us?
Let me see if I can find them.
I like your bells. Those are large.
Santa had a sack.
Well, yeah, but this is like this is like early
like what was in the
pre-Christmas.
sack. Okay.
This is the pre-Christmas bag.
These are pretty small chimney here.
Yes. What do you do when there's not a chimney when it's just like,
What are those power filters?
yeah,
Let's get a little tricky.
Santa?
Yes.
What do you do when there's no chimney?
The front door.
Front door?
Yeah, sometimes.
Huh.
It smells like hydrocarbons,
Sounds like hydrocarbons.
like coal.
This is yours, Gary, and this is Matt's.
Ah,
And I will bring yours later.
I know, Santa.
I think I'd rather open yours.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, Santa.
Yes. Ho, ho, ho. Merry
What is it?
Christmas.
You can open it now.
Can I open it now, Santa?
Yes.
You want my knife? I got a knife.
No, I think
What'd you get?
is it a stick of gum?
It looks like a stick of gum.
Are you saying something about my breath, Santa?
No, no, no. You'll like it.
Beef jerky.
It's a comb.
What the heck is he trying to say with that one?
Well,
I guess I need some.
all the ladies keep telling me how nice looking he is, and he has beautiful hair. So I just want to keep
Make sure he stays that way.
Well,
Yes.
thank you, Santa. That's very, very. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's much better.
Yeah.
No, not really. All right.
Well, I heard that's the only reason there's women watch
Again?
viewers.
Again? All right. That's like, I don't know how many years in a row was that?
Oh, several.
Several. I don't know, Matt. I let the guy come on my show as if I had a choice,
Right.
and each time he comes, he brings me coal. Every year.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Well, maybe it's clean coal. I hear that's
It's
a
it's
thing.
clean burning
You can
coal.
burn
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
See?
yeah.
He's trying
Okay,
to help
so
you.
okay. Like what did I do wrong this year?
Well, there's a representative, Lynette Peterson, told
Yeah.
me that you did not vote the proper way a few times in the committee.
In the Judiciary Committee?
Yes, is that true?
It depends on whose viewpoint you have, I suppose.
Well, from what I understand, Lynette is always right. Or Representative Peterson, I'm sorry.
Well,
I call her Lynette.
Well, you're Santa. I mean,
Yes.
you can really. Yeah.
So, I don't know if you want to explain what happened in committee or if you have to.
I'd rather not.
Okay.
Judging from that coal, you got some explaining to do.
A lot of splaining to do, apparently. But every
Well, see if we can try to straighten that coal out for next year.
I don't know.
Santa does watch you.
Apparently. So basically, this year I just got to do whatever Lynette tells me, and I might get something different next year.
Oh, absolutely.
That ain't happening. So
Would you like to borrow my comb?
no.
Okay.
Why? You saying I need to comb my hair?
No, I'm just trying to because I feel bad about the coal. I thought I'd
You
share-
want the coal?
I thought I'd share my gift if you wanted.
That is very. See, now that's why you get presents.
I haven't
and
had-
don't. I would never share my coal with anybody.
Wow. That's not very Christmassy.
No, I'm not Christmassy kind of guy.
Oops.
Whoa. So, Pastor,
Yes, sir.
tell us a little bit about this Christmas story. The alleged yeah.
Well, I mean, if people don't know, Jesus did come.
Yes.
He was a human. He was man. He was born, conceived by the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, that's one of the three persons of the Trinity, part of God. He conceived in the Virgin Mary, Jesus. And Jesus really came to save people from their sins. We're talking about good and bad here, right? We're talking about
Oh, as opposed to votes.
yeah, I mean, there's an objective standard here. I mean, it's a lot of people, and I really wasn't kidding. A lot of people don't really think that Jesus was a real person, but if you really look back, most historians will agree that Jesus was a person. He
Right.
did live, that he did die on the cross, and that he was buried, and there were so many witnesses to the resurrection that. But that's the reason he came to die, to give his life.
Who was the there's a very renowned, I thought it was a guy from Harvard who set out to try to disprove. Now I forget the guy's name. He actually set out to disprove the entire story of Jesus. And the more he researched it, the more he found out that it was actually true. Do you recall?
There was an investigative reporter for the Chicago Tribune, a
Okay,
guy by
that's-
the name of Lee Strobel, maybe.
Okay, maybe that's it.
There are a bunch of people like that. I mean, Lee Strobel, I think his story is that his wife was a Christian, and Lee was getting really annoyed by it. He's like, I can't believe she believes this thing, and so he started investigating and doing the research and found out, wow, this is true. It's not a fairy tale. It's not wishful thinking.
Yeah, because for instance, the Bible is I don't know how many evidences there are that the story is true or that the Bible is actually legitimate, because that's one of the arguments people say today. Well, you can't trust it because it was rewritten, it was, retranslated so many times, but that's actually been pretty well substantiated.
It's kind of a neat thing. As time goes on, there's actually more authentication of the Bible. As there are archaeological digs and they find different historical waypoints that connect with what's in the Bible. But beyond that, they find more fragments that go back much further in time. And so when they see them, you think, well, the translation, the further and further you get away from the original translations 2,000 years ago, it must be less and less accurate. But it gets more and more accurate as they find these little manuscripts. They're actually able to verify a lot more. And a lot of manuscripts out there. It's not like there's just one or two. There are thousands and thousands of manuscripts.
It was kind of funny. I had a conversation at work, I don't know how many years ago, and we were talking about and it's kind of awesome if you go through your life when God feeds you information right before you need it, because that's as long as I can remember it. If He gave it to me a week before that, I would never remember it anyway. But but it was I was talking about something with this guy at work, and I was talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, and he said he didn't even believe that those places ever even existed. But it was like the week before I was watching the Discovery Channel, and that was back when the Discovery Channel actually did discoveries and historical documentaries instead of some of the stuff they do now. I don't know why they changed, but and it was on some old Sanskrit that they had found where it referred to Sodom, and there was another, it was like all these old writings that predated that weren't Jewish. They were like a completely, I think it was up in Turkey somewhere, but it was a completely different culture, but it referred to the biblical locations and stuff like that. It did not talk about it being destroyed, but it did talk about its existence.
You could at least verify that it was a historical city about that same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, those discoveries, they come out every week. There's
they
something
do.
new, and there are biblical archaeological journals, that sort of thing, that report on them. But some of them may seem small, but just as all the pieces get put together, it does.
The more we know, the more we find out that the Bible actually is true.
That's true. But Jesus, you can look at Him outside of the Bible even and verify that He lived, He died, and rose. But a lot of times I think I run into people all the time that don't know that for whatever reason. And you were talking about if they taught some of these things in school, and this is historically significant event that happened, and yet it's typically not taught. It's not. It's thought to be religious, and it's we live in such a hyper spiritualized age where
now Sienna, you heard about that and I haven't verified the accuracy of this particular news story, but it was a child that was suspended or something like that just for saying Merry Christmas in school.
Yes, that's going on.
Now, do you as Santa, are you able to give that child a little extra present for standing on his principles? Or?
Yes, he will be rewarded.
But do you get extra?
He gets a nice big present.
Okay,
because what I do is the ones that suspend him, I take from them,
right,
and give to the good boy.
And so the one that suspended him would end up with similar Christmas present.
Yes.
Then, do they get as much as I get?
No, you did get a lot only because I do like you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I buy coal by the train car.
Right. And then you dispense it according to.
Yes.
That's really cool.
And those naughty superintendents that want to make up these nonsense rules of suspending a child for saying Merry Christmas.
Well, Santa, did you hear about the other one, about the kid who pointed his finger as if it was a gun at somebody.
Yes.
I remember that story. Was that in Florida or somewhere?
I thought it was actually more redneck than that. I thought it was like Georgia or something, which is
It might have been.
is weird when it comes from a state
Yeah.
like that. It's like, really?
Or chewing their Pop-Tarts into a gun.
Oh yeah, there was a kid who chewed his Pop-Tart into a gun. And he got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
I don't know, Santa. You've seen a lot over the years. What do you think's going on?
Oh, I think it's not good. Socialist.
So
I think that
A bit of a leap there, Santa, but okay.
I think they want us to have a socialist country in the United States,
and so we.
and I've seen it in other parts of the world, and it does not work.
Well, you must be very heartened, and you also, Pastor, about what's going on in Russia. Russia is actually having a Christian revival. I mean, it's
Yes.
the Greek, or is it Greek Orthodox? What is it?
Yeah.
Russian Orthodox.
It's the Russian Orthodox. yeah.
Russian Orthodox Church is growing in leaps and bounds after the fall of communism.
well, it was always there. Would you agree?
It was there, but hard to know how much of that is politically
Yes.
motivated,
Sure.
and what's really going on there.
Yeah, the Putin, I think, is pretty savvy, so I don't know how much it. But again, these politicians. So just because he says the right things doesn't mean you don't know what's in somebody's heart. You know.
Right.
Right. Gary, who would look better on a horse with no shirt, Putin or Matt?
Gary, before you answer that, Santa, really?
Well, I just thought that, Putin is on this horse with no shirt. And Matt got a comb because he's a good-looking guy. And
Oh, I get it. Now I understand the real reason you gave me the comb now, Santa, because I am very hairy. I'm like an ape. So if I'm going to be on a horse,
yes.
I'm going to have to comb this chest hair.
Yes.
Or mane, depending on what you want to call it.
Right. Well, I mean, I'll condition and everything, and then I'll comb it.
I really never give that type of thing much thought, Santa.
Well, that's probably good.
Yes, it really is. I like it that way.
Does Santa posing such a question make it more or less strange?
Makes it a lot more strange. That
Okay.
would be something I would expect from you.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea how to take that.
I don't either. I don't know how I meant it. So that.
Huh. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
okay.
Oh.
But how do you see Christianity changing around the world as of the past 5 or so years?
I mean, Christianity has been spreading in a lot of areas. In Africa, for instance, it's been growing leaps and bounds. In China, of all places, you wouldn't think of China, but there's been a big house church movement there. In the Middle East, there's been a lot of purging of Christians in some areas, but there's been a lot of underground activity going on. I know several missionaries in the Middle East and in China. In North Korea, believe it or not, it's a very dangerous place to be a Christian.
They got to be careful.
But there are definitely...
Yeah, they just got a few of them executed.
Yeah, they did. They took
Yeah.
them out in that stadium, right? And you can't, if you're caught owning a Bible, that's it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's... In places like that, people, that they are really believers in the faith if they are willing to undergo persecution like that. I mean, there's just no question that, if you're willing to go to a country like that or live in a country like that and spread the faith to other people, to share that with other folks.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have a call. Should we grab this?
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Rock, Paper, Hand Grenades. Who's on the line?
Hi, young man. It's Flo, Miss Sunbeam.
Oh, hi, Flo.
I got a question for Santa.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yes.
Santa,
Yes.
what do you want for Christmas?
Oh, Flo's going to get you something. That's sweet.
Well, I just want joy in the world.
Hey, I was going to say peace and joy.
Well, peace is a nice idea, but unfortunately there are bad people in the world.
Oh. Is that Matt over there?
Yes, Flo, this is me. Flo, Santa posed a question. We'll ask you, because Gary declined to give a firm answer. Who would look better shirtless on a horse?
Laugh at me or something?
What?
No, I was asking you a question. Who would look better shirtless on a horse, me or Vladimir Putin?
Or was it your hair off your chest?
Well, I'm gonna comb the hair on my chest. So a well-groomed me versus Putin.
Mrs. Santa, what does she wish?
She doesn't want to answer
I'm
either.
not asking you, man. I'm asking Santa Claus. Thank
Oh,
you.
no, yes, I apologize, Flo. The floor is yours, Santa.
What Miss Santa wants.
What does Miss Santa want?
She doesn't want much. She just wants people to be happy.
Maybe she wants a picture of you shirtless on a horse.
United and
Yes.
not make fun of others and be up in good positive ways, like the gentleman that's next to Matt. He's very polite, and he
Wow.
tells it like it is too. He's his own man. He knows his own show. He don't let nobody tell him what to do, right?
Except my wife.
I think it's great. Oh, your wife? Yeah, well, hey, that's different.
She's supposed to, right?
But I mean, I want to wish you all a very joyous Merry Christmas.
Thank you,
Thank
Flo.
you, Flo. Merry Christmas to you also.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Flo.
I just don't think that anyone ever asked Santa what he really wants for Christmas, so I thought I'd call in.
That's very nice.
Very considerate, Flo.
Thank you, everyone.
All right,
Yeah,
thank
God
you.
bless.
Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, take care.
Bye-bye.
Uh,
Oops. Well, that was nice.
That was very cool. Is she the first person who's ever asked you what you want for Christmas other than your Mrs. Santa?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That is, yeah.
That
Yeah.
was.
I guess Flo's getting something
Great
awesome
question.
this
Oh,
year.
yeah.
People make
Yeah.
assumptions, though, right? With the milk and cookies and
Oh,
whatnot.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, right. That's true, too.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder what the reindeer like. We always leave carrots.
Oh, that's true. Yes, yes. They eat
Do
a
they
lot of
actually
sick of
like the
carrots.
carrots, or they
Yeah.
prefer other...
No, they love the carrots.
Huh.
Yeah, it's good for their eyesight.
What about apples?
Oh,
I know the deer in back of my house like the apples.
yes, yes.
So you can leave apples, too?
Yep, yep. Slices. If you
Pears?
could cut them up.
What about pears?
No, they're not.
I mean, you
big
got to
pear
ride
eaters.
behind them, so I'm sure there's certain things you don't want to give them.
Yes, beans is one.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I can see that being a problem, yeah.
But where was I going with that before?
Well, you were asking me about persecution around the world in the
Yeah.
in the Christian faith, and yeah, there's a lot of it, but there's been a lot of it since the very beginning. That is
Well, that was that's where I was leading into is that, you know, one of the beauties of Christianity. If you look at some of the newer religions of today, and even some of the old religions, the founders of that religion, or that movement, or that cult, tend to gain greatly by creating it.
Oh, like L. Ron Hubbard.
Like L. Ron Hubbard's a very good example.
He's on record telling somebody, I'm going to start a religion because that's where the money is. And then he invented...
And then next thing you know, he was apparently a pretty crappy science fiction writer.
yeah, yeah.
And next thing you know, he's got yachts and everything else.
Yeah.
By creating this religion, as he called it, which was nothing more than teaching people how to. It was almost more of a brainwashing than it was anything else.
Yeah.
And I say that having gone through some of it, not
That's right.
not by because I was curious. There's a really pretty girl in Worcester who said, "Do you want to take a personality test?" And if a really pretty girl asks you anything, and I think I was like 18 or 19, of course I want to take a personality test.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I? So I actually went with and tried to learn because I love learning stuff, and that was pretty much it. Was worship of L. Ron Hubbard and brainwashing was the main part. It was pretty sad. I mean, they had a huge picture of L. Ron Hubbard.
Really? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On it was a thing in Boston, and
Were they calling it Scientology at that point? Because
Yeah.
first it was Dianetics, but they were using that.
they were using Dianetics was the book, Scientology was the religion,
Okay.
and
Well, Santa's glad you did not fall for that.
no,
So
God's
am I.
been really good to me as far as showing me, because I was not a Christian. I did not want to accept Christianity because I did not want to believe just because my mother did or just because other people did. Because back when I was growing up, everybody was a Christian.
But that's a really good way to look at it, Gary. You don't want to just believe because someone else does,
Right.
or because you hear a soundbite or see a good commercial or whatever. You really, or see a cute girl. You want to, you really want to check it out. And I think that's would encourage me to become a Christian is checking it out, because I only became a Christian 15 years ago. I didn't grow up in a Christian family. I grew up in a family where Jesus Christ was a word that used in a different way.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in worship. It wasn't
complimentally.
in worship. Yeah, those people were crazy. So, I started just checking it out.
Were you agnostic prior to that, or?
I was actually a Unitarian.
Oh, okay.
Because I believed there was a God,
Sure.
but I sort of I had more of a liberal bend,
Yeah.
and
Oh, Santa doesn't like that
I could feel
word.
Santa leaning. I wasn't sure what was going on there. But sure who had the beans, but
Wow.
so I'm sure I'm getting cold now. But I started checking it out. I felt like when I was going to the Unitarian Church, it was sort of like a chipmunk. Not to be disrespectful, but anything could be God, because it was whatever you want God to
Okay.
be. All paths lead to God,
Sure.
sort of thing. And I thought that just doesn't make any sense. As I started learning more about religions, I realized none of them really allow for that. And so, how can it be something that's denied by all religions? So I started looking at Christianity just by reading the Bible and then digging in and reading like that investigative reporter's book and things like that.
Oh, you read that?
I did read that, yeah, a little later on, but yeah, started just trying to dig in because I thought, I don't know if this can really be true. I just don't see how it could be. But then I realized, wow, this is historical. And I grew up a little while ago, and there was nothing in school that led you to believe that Jesus was even a real person at that time.
That's actually one of the things that's kind of discouraging, that they will teach you all these other histories.
Right. Knew a lot about other religions.
They'll teach you about the history of Mohammedanism, and I think they sugarcoat that. They don't tell you exactly what he was like, but they avoid Christianity like it's like it's like the plague,
Yeah.
I know
it's just not politically correct for whatever reason to talk about Christianity. I don't understand that.
But didn't you say, Bob, because I remember this I think it was last year when you came on for Christmas, you said that you would be concerned about someone in a school teaching your kids about Christianity.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about teaching kids the historic part of it, which is completely different.
Yeah, I mean, Matt is correct. I mean, I absolutely, that is what I believe. That I don't want someone teaching Christianity in school.
Yeah.
Only because I don't know what they're going to. If it's a Christian school where you can check it out and know what they're really teaching, but if someone's teaching their view of Christianity without really it being Christianity, I have a problem. But
Yeah.
the historical truths of Christianity should be taught. They were such a significant event in world history that how can you omit that?
I mean, they have no problem saying that Muhammad was a real person, but they have great difficulty even acknowledging that Christ was a real person.
When I was going
historically,
to school, that's true. Yeah.
And I think that's the one of the bigger problems, that you can't mention. It's a taboo subject, and it's fundamentally what the faith that the country was built on. But Santa, what do you say about that?
Well, I think we should have prayer in school.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Your own prayer.
Right.
Have a moment of silence.
Allow
or something.
time for that. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. And on the beautiful girl part, I believe.
Was that another year I get coal?
No. I believe beautiful girls do make you believe in God, because I look at Mrs. Claus, and she is so beautiful, she has to be created by God.
Wow. I guess he's not getting coal in his stocking.
No.
Nice one. That was a good one.
Well, that's what I look at, is how beautiful she is, and she's God's creation.
Yeah.
So that would make you believe in God.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen Mrs. Claus.
Oh, you haven't?
No. Is there like a...
Yeah, she has a red outfit, just like I do when she comes out. Yeah.
This sounds hot.
Yeah. Yep. Nice looking woman.
Yeah.
Now, how old is she
Bring her
now?
by.
Oh, she's a couple years younger than I am.
That's
That's the way to go, Santa. Yeah, that's the way to go.
How old are you, Santa? That's a question I've never really thought
I know,
about.
really, right?
Oh, well, I've been around a long time.
Thinking.
Now, how old are the reindeer?
Oh, they can live a long time.
Yeah,
a long,
'cause
long time.
what the heck? I have this habit of when I'm with the grandchildren making up stories, and we were just talking about, and I started naming the reindeer, but I couldn't remember what the names were.
Oh.
So I made up other names, and they said, that's not their names. I says, I know, the originals are retired now.
That makes sense.
Good save. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Christianity, the idea that the founders of the Christian faith, like, Paul's a very good example, Peter, Mark, all these people who founded the faith, if they really didn't believe it, if they really didn't know Jesus Christ was Lord and that the miracles they had seen, what would motivate anybody to follow something that they knew was going to lead to their death? Period.
It's an interesting thing, because when you look at a lot of Christ's followers, right, the apostles, his disciples, what they did is when he was captured, when he was led to the cross, they were gone, right? I mean,
yeah, they scattered like rats on his...
Peter denied Jesus 3 times.
Yeah.
And yet, after they saw the resurrection, they did a complete 180. I mean, they just ran the other direction.
I think it was really cool too. It was the ladies that actually went up to the tomb and found him too.
Yeah.
Because I think it's is it the no? I can't say it's the only, but compared to other religions, it's one of the only religions that is very inclusive of women.
It is, yeah.
And how you're supposed to treat them as as like part of yourself, not as because a lot of religion expect you to treat women as inferior.
Oh yeah.
Whereas Christianity, I think, might have been
there are
the
not
first.
2 levels of Christians. The Apostle Paul said there's neither Jew nor Greek, male nor female.
Right.
Right, but all are one in Christ Jesus.
Everyone's
equal in Christ, because none of us deserve what Christ did.
Yeah, I think it was my son. We were talking about that. How like some people are really smart and they're very, very proud of how intelligent they are, and I've always had. I think we all do have these feelings of superiority and stuff like that sometimes. And then Sean was putting it in perspective. You take the most brilliant person on the planet Earth, or an Einstein or anything else, compared to God, he's an idiot. You know what I mean? You got the creator of the entire universe, who us peons are there trying to explain how he created everything, and we still don't have a clue. We're starting to get little bits and pieces so we can understand the creation, but we still don't really know, and yet we think we're intelligent.
Now, Gary, didn't you have a bill in at the State House to teach?
No.
In schools?
I should have got something that year.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Well, take it up with the big man.
Oh, that was because last year is when I did it.
Oh.
And he didn't make it on the show last year.
Right.
Oh.
Interesting that he skipped your house,
a little
though.
bit. That was a little strange.
Now, I heard you got some unpleasantry emails from people around the country.
I had a bill last year that pretty much sealed any possibility of running for federal office. But whatever, you do what you got to do. And what it did was the required schools to teach the flaws in evolution. Because if you look at what most kids are being taught in school, a good percentage of it is just propaganda. An example, I took it was the high school textbook from Goffstown High School. I borrowed one of those. I didn't steal it, okay? I just let you know. And I borrowed it, and I went through it, and they had in the textbook, which isn't that old, they have one of their examples of evolution is Lucy. We all remember that from school. Lucy was the one of the missing links found in Africa. Okay? Well, the fact of the matter is, the person who found Lucy had already accepted that it was discredited back in the 90s. because he was so eager, because it's like any scientist. The problem is they're so eager to find that missing link that they have difficulty not making things fit that don't necessarily. And the fact of the matter, the difference was that the hips, the big difference between the primates and humans is vertical, standing vertically, and the hips have to be different for that to happen. And so he fudged it, and some of the bones really weren't found where they were. But anyway, so this example, one of the primary examples of evolution, which is Lucy, is not really an example and shouldn't even be in the textbook because it's been disproven, 20-something years ago, but it's still being taught. And there's a lot of examples like that they teach in school. They use these trees to show this is the original creature, and it evolved into A, B, C, and D. But the fact of the matter is they don't have any of the links between that and A, B, C, and D. There's no evidence that that's actually true, but you'll see the diagrams all the way through the textbook. Then they came up with for evolution to try to compensate for that, the fact that they don't have those inner links in between, because in theory, if you have creature A who evolved into creature B, you should have far more fossil record of the incremental changes than you do of either end of that spectrum, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so to compensate for that, because obviously that's a huge problem with the theory of evolution, they came up with punctuated evolution, or punctuated equilibrium. I forget what they called it. And to explain it, so that they didn't need all those fossil records. So it was an excuse because they couldn't come up with real evidence. And but still, there still should be sequential different incremental changes, and they don't have those. It went from the oldest fossil record as of like single cell creatures and sponges, and then it was like in an instant you had these multi-cell creatures called the Cambrian explosion, and to just almost hundreds and hundreds of different creatures are all of a sudden just magically appear from a single cell creature, but you don't have any record of the incremental changes into these little fish and things like that were swimming around after that Cambrian explosion.
So did your bill become law?
No.
Now I heard you had a hard time getting co-sponsors prior, but I heard you had a co-sponsor last time. I
probably did.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's anybody else silly enough to really do stuff like that.
Yeah. I heard it was a guy out of Goffstown. He co-sponsored it with you. I can't remember his name.
Bert or something?
Yeah.
Senator? No, not Senator. Not Senator Bert.
No, definitely not Senator Bert.
What is it? It's John Bert. So Representative
I haven't seen him in a while. He hasn't come on the show in a long time.
He avoids the show. I
know. Well, we ruin political careers, so I don't blame him.
After he co-sponsored that, he's got no political career at all, actually. So.
Well, makes sense. Yeah.
But, that's what happened to that. So I should have got something really awesome that year, but I don't think I did, honestly. I'm kind of a little bit disappointed.
It was on my radar. I must have, my notes.
You have radar?
Well, in my paper, my books.
You mean figuratively?
Yes.
Not an actual. You don't like that. Because that's what I was thinking. Because you have all the coolest stuff in the world. You would think you'd have like this awesome radar dashboard.
GPS.
Yeah. At least on your cell phone, you must have GPS, right?
No, I don't use GPS.
Wow.
I do it all by stars.
He really is magical.
Wow.
He is.
Yeah.
Huh. Stars.
Yeah, well, God built these stars all up there, and it looks beautiful.
It really does.
And
Do you fly?
Beautiful.
Do you fly like above the clouds?
Yes. Yeah. Well, when I'm going distances.
Right.
Yeah, I get up in the jet stream, and it's a lot easier.
That's how you actually are able to get so far around the Earth so quickly. And,
yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
How high up is that?
Well, it's just barely above the clouds, but there's a certain level where around the world, it's just known that airplanes will not fly on this certain level. So I got about 1,000 feet that I.
They're not allowed to just
Kind of
because.
protected airspace.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that way, if wherever I am.
So you're not allowed to go to the White House, right?
Oh, I probably wouldn't be White House approved.
No, because they have protected airspace.
Yes, yes.
No, that's what I'm talking about. I'm
Right,
not saying
right,
anything
yeah,
about,
no, right.
I'm not
yeah.
saying anything about the present occupant of the White
Right,
House.
right. No,
I'm just talking about.
right. Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
I know. I understand. Yes.
I
yes.
don't. I don't want you to get the wrong
No,
idea.
no.
No.
Never. No.
Yeah. No, so I haven't been to his house.
No, I wouldn't think so. I'm not going to keep going there. But so, Christmas Eve service. Hey, what are we doing Sunday? It's this Sunday.
So this Sunday's the fourth Sunday in Advent.
Advent,
Right.
And that's at 10:30.
That's at 10:30 Main Street.
Main
in
Street.
Goffstown.
Yeah, if you want a really awesome church, the Goffstown Congregational Church is awesome, and it's very obvious. It's right in the center of town, and
It's not awesome because of me, but we have a great congregation.
it is. There's
I mean,
some very nice
It is
people.
a great church. It's been a church for 200 plus years, and just faithful to God, and it's just a great
But
community.
you preach the Bible and everything too.
Preach the Bible and everything. Yeah, that's what we preach every Sunday, and we preach through usually books of the Bible. This time of year, we'll preach on scriptures related to Christmas, that sort of thing.
Right,
We'll
right.
start Genesis actually, so talking about creation and all that.
Oh no!
We'll start that in the end of January.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's going to be fun. I love Christmas just because of the Christmas carols.
Yeah, a lot of Christmas carols right now, and our our Christmas Eve service is carols and candles. So a lot of special music, a lot of congregational singing of carols, and
It's
really special
It is
service. Yeah.
special.
Thank you for doing God's work.
Thank you.
Santa, thank
Santa.
you
Well,
for.
I'm going to make sure he gets a nice present this year.
And Santa knows the real deal on Christmas.
Absolutely.
which I
What's
appreciate
the
about
Santa? What is the real deal on Christmas? Is it the presents?
It is absolutely not the presents.
It is not. What is it?
The presents are nice.
The presents are nice.
Yes.
Some of them.
With
Yeah,
some
the,
of them, yeah.
the
Some of them,
presents are to share a gift with your loved ones.
Right.
But the true meaning is God.
And the birth of Jesus Christ.
That's right.
Thank you, Santa. And thank you, everybody. We'll see you. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the week after Christmas or not yet,
Okay.
but probably not. I don't know. Thank you, everybody. Have a very Merry Christmas. And
Christmas,
remember
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
the reason for the season is Jesus, not nothing personal, but not presents. Merry Christmas.
Bye, everybody.